that I have as we're traveling or riding, we're trying to catch those big brown signs or whatever that say Memorial this way, National Cemetery this way, something like that. I think for me, is there anything else that you ladies want to add before we close?
I do.
Yes. Go ahead.
So you were asking about civilians and how we connect with veterans. My husband is a law enforcement, 23 years, and he was in the U.S. Navy for 12 years, K-9 dog handler, Desert Storm veteran, and went into the police force right away. And some of the things that they deal with, first responders, whether it's the scene of an accident, a shooting, some kind of intense crime, a lot of those feelings they don't share with you as family members or even a spouse. But I think to be there, to be supportive in what they're dealing with as far as first responders, like your flag, Valerie, that really tugged at my heart when you're talking about that, because those feelings come up, those feelings arise. And as the person, being the supportive person that you are, you don't know what to say. You've not seen what they've seen. You've not had to save a life. You've not had to drag a baby out.
Yeah.
We were on a Sturgis trip, and coming back, we came upon an accident, and my husband is a first responder, and I couldn't stand it. The car was upside down. I'm like, I can't see it. You go over there. And it involved an infant.
Yeah.
And I'm just standing on the road crying, trying to direct traffic.
Yeah.
But he knew what to do.
Right.
Totally calm, super professional.
Yeah.
Until the police came, and everybody was okay. Baby was okay. Everybody was fine. But for me to see that, I'm not equipped or knowledgeable to be a first responder, and I don't know what to do. I just panic. But to the folks, to the folks who do that, and that's their profession, they're like superheroes. They're on a whole nother level than someone like me. But to be that supportive person is everything to them.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Anything that you wanted to add or that you thought of while we were talking? Okay. I'm going to close for my part about saying what I wish the community would kind of know, because I'm personally tied in family members to both the first responder through police departments and military spec ops communities. And I would tell my military families this, most especially in their thought process of thinking about first responders, and obviously anyone civilian that's not connected to either one of these communities. When your military spouse, family member, child, whatever the case may be, you understand deployments. This is how I like it. This is how I like in this story. You understand deployments. Your person is going to go on deployment. They're going to go on their ship, or they're going to go overseas, sandbox currently, whatever the case may be. And you kind of build up and you take care of everything at home, and you get all the papers that you have to get signed and everything's, and you kind of build up, and then you have your big goodbye, and you're very sad. And then while they're gone, you're counting down the days on the calendar. It's a 6-month deployment or 9-month deployment, or even now with our deployments over a year, or 3-month deployment, whatever the case may be, and you're counting down to halfway. And then it's downhill from there. And then what holidays did we miss, and you're going to celebrate when you come back home, or whatever the case may be. So there's a countdown and then a build up to them coming home, and hopefully they're coming home. And then when they come home, and you meet them on the pier or at the airport or at the base or off the bus or wherever, however they're coming home to you, and you get to put your arms around them, you get to take off about 50 pounds and say that you feel like in that moment that they're probably safe. Do they still do dangerous things when they're at home? Training, yes, of course they do. Is there training accidents? Of course there is. But for the most part, you feel like a certain weight has been lifted off of you. And that is the best way I can kind of summarize as a family member of military deployments. When you have a family member that is a police officer, and I don't want to speak for you as the spouse of a police officer, but potentially, this is what I liken it to try to get people to understand. Firefighters go to work and have a very hazardous job, of course. EMTs, paramedics, of course. Police officers in general put on a vest and put on a gun and deploy every single day. They deploy every single day. And you give them a hug and you tell them that you love them and have a good day at work and be safe. And then when they come home, it's called the sound of six straps, the Velcro straps coming off the vest. You know that sound and that they are home and safe for the night, their days off, the weekend, whatever the case may be, that shift. But then they deploy the next day. And they deploy every single day. So what I would love for people to understand is that first responder families, especially law enforcement families, especially in the current state of affairs in our country, it's very difficult. And so I love seeing our military community so supportive of our first responders, because I feel like our first responders have always been very supportive of our military community. And I love seeing our military community equally, the veterans and their families, supportive of the first responder community. So that's kind of my thing of what I would love people to know. Okay, so I feel like this is a really special moment. It's the reason why I wanted to do this interview with these lovely ladies is, again, it's 3 daughters of Vietnam veterans, 3 civilian patriots who are supporting flags of honor with the code name Valor flag.
Code Talker flag. Freedom flag.
And just wanting to support the mission and our veterans and their families, and create awareness and shine a light on all these other organizations that are out there and available to serve these veterans and their families. Yes? Okay, ladies, anything else? Good?
I think it's going to be an exciting 8 months.
I mean, there's a lot of, and let me tell you guys something, just so you know. Currently, we all work full-time jobs, as many of our flag guardians do, and this is all on our own time and our own expense. So thank you, ladies, so much for what you're doing, because we are taking a lot of time and a lot of expense to be able to provide this service back out into the communities and support flags of honor, as most of our riders are still working full-time jobs and doing this on their own expense. So we appreciate everything that they're doing. And thank you, ladies, so much for your time and your heartfelt answers. I know I just kind of threw this on you, but thank you so much. Okay, everybody, thank you so much.
Good night.